Okay. So after that, how do you feel that? Means, is that helped you or not?
Yes, sir, it has helped me a lot actually, I would say, because even though like we prepare, we feel that we have prepared good enough, but only by giving mock interviews we'll be able to assess us like where we stand.
Okay. So I will start with some of the basic questions from the HTML, CSS.
Sure.
I will ask you some of the questions from the JavaScript. Then we'll have some coding questions with the React. I will give
Yes,
you one simple scenario so you can try to edit something like that.
sure.
Before starting in the actually this is very first time I'm asking HTML questions. So I never asked HTML questions to anyone because I think you are the first or second person who is applied for as a fresher. Mostly I
Okay.
take an interview of the junior or senior candidates. So mostly I took interview from them. I'll also have to check what question I can ask you. So very basic question. So when we create HTML, we put exclamation doc type HTML.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
what does it means?
So the doc type exclamation and the HTML which we write as the first tag is to tell the browser that whatever document that you're going to parse now is written in HTML5 standards. So
Okay.
parse according to those conditions. Apply whatever changes that HTML5 has updated and all those.
In HTML, we have header tag and body tag.
Yes, sir.
What does it means? Why we have to head and body? Because we have only HTML, correct? DOM. Put everything into the div or something. So why they have created like that?
I would start with the body first. Body is basically a semantic tag in itself, I would say, because it tells that this is the body where your entire content, whatever you're going to display on the screen, you have to write it. That employs a good practice, I would say.
Hmm.
And whatever that we have to write, like headers, footers, whatever, they should all be inside the body. And regarding the head tag, this is metadata where we place our metadata or some styling responsive measures that we put in. Let's
Mhm.
say like in head tag there are multiple tags, and out of them few would be like a meta tag where we specify what language this document is in and what is the character encoding that you have to use to parse it. And other, I would say, the content width and the initial scale values which we also use because they are helpful in whenever the page loads, what is the zoom level that it has to be defaulted to, and we generally set it to 1 because we don't want it to zoom in or zoom out.
So is it good practice to add a scripts at the top, or we can add at the
Yeah,
closing of the HTML as well?
like I didn't get the question.
No, what I meant to ask, we have a script tag, correct? Over there, we add our scripts or something. I'm asking, is this mandatory to add at the top of the page, or we can add at the end as well?
It depends, I would say. If we consider this JavaScript file is used in DOM manipulation of our HTML, then in that case, this file requires the HTML to be passed, right? So that it can get access to the DOM. In that case, we can ensure that we can add just before the closing of the body tag, or we can also put it in the head tag also by keeping attributes defer value. And if
So,
we are sure that there is no DOM manipulation that this JavaScript file is doing, then we can put it anywhere, even in the head tag or in the body tag. And we can use async also instead of defer.
so what is CDN? Have you heard about it?
Not much, I would say, but whatever I heard is like CDN is basically like a content delivery network where whatever content that is required for us is stored in some remote places and it is delivered to us through the internet.
Yep. So we have Bootstrap minified file, jQuery file. You imported that somewhere, correct? Before NPM, we have to use like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once we got the NPM, we do NPM install. We import our node module files. So when you install Bootstrap, you will get the files in the Bootstrap node module folder, correct?
Yes, sir.
It was not like that. So it was like that. So if you want to use any font, you have to import that font as well, okay, in the head tag. That's a CDN. So earlier we means I when I started my career, that jQuery, Ajax, point of something. At that time we use that. So, as you talked about defer,
So different async both are used to tell the browser how to download our JavaScript file as soon as it encounters it in the HTML document. Say I have used async attribute for the script file. And what the browser does is as soon as it encounters the script tag, it will start downloading it in the background, I would say parallelly using some web workers. Processing that loading of the file goes along with the HTML parsing. Both are handled by different threads, I would say. And as soon as the file gets downloaded completely, it starts executing and the HTML parsing stops, because the execution of JavaScript file and the parsing of HTML is done by the same main thread of the browser. That is why when we use async, the HTML parsing stops as soon as the file got downloaded. But in its downloading phase, the HTML parsing will be done parallelly, because both are on different threads, I would say. But when it's got downloaded completely, it has to be handled by the main thread for execution. HTML parsing stops. This is the working of async attribute. For a defer attribute, I would say till the process of downloading, it is same as in async, but the only difference is it starts executing only when HTML is entirely passed or DOM content has been loaded. Then it will start to execute our file.
So we have a inline elements as well, correct? In HTML styles and all.
Inline styles.
So what exactly it is?
In inline styling?
Styles. Yep.
So inline styles are a way of writing CSS styles. They are written in flow with the elements in themselves only. This is not that recommended in current applications, because it makes our code difficult to read. It gets cluttered. And, like this will be applied. It has more priority, I would say, compared to the other, like inline internal or external styles.
You have specificity. You might heard about it, correct?
Yes, sir.
It has more specificity than other. Okay. So what is the use of exclamation important then? If I see, I will give you one scenario. I created one class. In that class, I'm giving you background color red.
Okay.
Just a red, background color red. Now, if I add inline CSS as well with a background color blue. Okay. Now the catch here is in a class I put exclamation important. Which will it will take them? Inline one or important one?
I would say the important one will be applied.
What exactly it does means what do you think it does? So that's why it is has a more specificity than other.
Yeah, important has, I don't think important has anything related to specificity, but the way that the CSS styles are applied, this whenever we add exclamation important, it is entirely belonging to a different context that is no longer in the same league as with internal styles or inline styles. Whenever we add an important, it means that the browser has to in any manner apply this style no matter whatever it is there.
Correct.
Like no matter if the other background color is applied over the ID.
Yes.
Then also the one which is there in the class, if it is important, then it will be applied. And the only way to override this important is to add another important which will be applied in the cascading order.
So what is the difference between div and span?
Yes, sir. Div is a block element and span is an inline element. So div takes the entire width of its parent available, whereas span only takes the width that is necessary for it and flows with the document flow. Like it doesn't start on a new line nor it push the other content to the next line. And div also follows the box model properties, like it follows all the properties. Like we can give inline padding, inline margin, or vertical padding and vertical margins. Whereas for span, since it is an inline element, we cannot give vertical paddings and margin because it will behave differently rather than what we expect it to do.
We have a display properties, correct? Multiple.
Yes.
What is default one? What exactly is the default display?
Like if it is a div, then the default display will be block. For span, like whatever inline elements by default are present in HTML, for them it will be like a display inline. And
Yeah, go ahead.
like if we have any custom tags that we declare, then the display will be inline only.
So what is difference between relative and absolute?
So relative is basically like if for an element, if we give a position as relative and we do some changes, all those changes will be applied to that element with respect to its original position where it was present in the document. Whereas for an absolutely positioned element, it will consider the changes whatever we have done over that element, those will be applied with regard to its nearest parent which is relatively positioned. And if there is no relatively positioned parent or an ancestor, it will default itself to the viewport, I would say, like the HTML tag. Yes, sir.
So last question from HTML. You might heard about the local storage caching methods. So what are the different ways we have?
How to store the data in our browser, you mean?
Yep, yes. Yep.
Okay, we have local storage, then we have session storage, and we also have cookies, I would say.
Which one is the better of them?
It depends, sir. If you want some data to be persisted on some origin, then like till the user manually deletes or that, then we can use local storage. And if you want the data only to persist between sessions, then we can use session management. And cookies are basically used for the website improvements, like the user, how can we customize it better to the user. For some details, the session IDs will be stored in the cookies, I would say. And local storage has more storage capacity than the cookies.
Any idea how much?
Local storage, I guess it is 5 MB if I'm not wrong.
So, what is Flex exactly?
So Flex is kind of a model, I would say, which helps us in managing a container and its children more flexibly than ever before the introduction of Flex was there. With Flex, we can dynamically manage how change in the dimension of parent or the change in the dimension of their children change whenever the other change. This allows in kind of making a responsive websites also. This plays a major role in making them responsive and fit into the screen size.
Okay. So we can use to structure our elements with the Flex.
Yes, sir.
And you might use the Bootstrap as well.
Yeah, I've not used that extensively, but he
You
used
you might Tailwind you used, correct?
Tailwind also I've used moderately, I would say.
Okay. You created a multiple projects, so you should be using something one of them, correct?
Tailwind is first I've used mostly.
So so with that we have a built-in classes, correct?
Yes.
Justify content like that you might use somewhere. Then
Yeah.
show the flex like directly, so it will automatically add the display flex. See, whatever this library is now, they are overriding. It's a wrapper around your flex. So they have created their own styles, and we're just using that, right? So it's kind of a wrapper around your flex. Okay, so if someone asks you what is flex, so you can tell whatever flex you already tell, and already you told now. So after that, you can answer like this. So we can use. We know already we are using Bootstrap classes and Tailwind classes. These are the wrapper around your flex. So it helps us to reduce the code. If you want to add that justify center or anything, you have to add display flex first. This line, then if you want to do wrap around like something, then you have to write a 5 6 css. So instead of,
Yeah.
you can write only one class, so it will apply to it. So it's a wrapper around your flex.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll move to JavaScript now.
Yes, sir, sure.
Then I will give you one simple question to write down a code. Okay, so a small question first. What is let and const?
Okay. Let and const are the used for declaring variables in JavaScript. They are introduced in the ES6 version of the JavaScript. They are block scoped variables, which means they are if they are declared in some block, then they cannot be accessed outside of that block, which was kind of not possible, which is not what was with var. They were function scoped. So, so this is how, like, why initially latent consts were introduced for JavaScript. And regarding the hoisting nature of the latent const,
Mm-hmm.
I would say they are hoisted, but they are not initialized with any default value undefined. They are just kept in the temporal dead zone till their actual initialization is encountered. And we can reassign or modify the let variables, whereas for the const we cannot do so. They, if they are assigned initially, then they cannot be modified.
So if you assign one of the object to one of the const variable, can we update some of the value of that const variable then? Const object?
In the object, we can change some properties or the method values, whatever it is there, but we cannot assign the object name directly to another some value because it would violate the reference policy of the object.
Yes, correct. So we cannot reassign.
Yeah,
Okay.
we cannot reassign.
So once it registered to one of the object, we can do manipulation on that object because we are not reassigning the new memory location or something. We are not changing it, correct?
As long as the reference is same, we can do anything.
So if I want to restrict user to do that as well, there are a couple of methods. Do you know one of them?
Like we have seal and freeze methods.
Okay. And what is the difference between both?
Seal basically seals our object, which means the user cannot add new properties or methods to the object, but can modify the existing properties. Whereas in freeze, user can neither add an external property or a method, nor he can modify whatever are there inside it, the original object. So it is same like we are assigning some primitive value to a constant, we cannot change it, right? Similar, each property in that object behaves like a constant property. This is what happens with freeze.
And what type of copies do we have?
We have shallow copy and deep copy.
So if I want to make a deep copy, how can I create?
So to create deep copy, one method I know is using the JSON method. First, we can stringify that whatever object is there, and then we can parse it. Another method I'm not aware of.
Here is a structured clone. Structured.
I think it is used to create a clone of an object, but I'm not sure whether it does a shallow or a deep copy.
It's a deep copy, not a shallow copy. If you are reassigning to A equal to B, it's a shallow copy. Your object dot assign also shallow copy. You are doing a spread operator at a multi-level or nested level, then it is also shallow copy. Okay. So with the help of spread operator, also you can create a deep copy. Okay. But in that object, you should not be having a references. Okay.
Yeah, nested we should not have, right?
So if it is nested, then it will be a shallow copy again. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
But if you have only your name and city and you are splitting it and assigning it, so it is a deep copy. So there is that structure clone. Okay. Can you share your screen? Let me give you one of the URL.
Yes.
And if you want to search for that structural clone, you can search it after sharing your screen. So I can tell you what exactly it is. I have pasted a link. Second link, open it. Yeah. Search for let me give you that keyword as well.
Okay. How do I move this away?
What?
Like this pop-up, I want to minimize it some kind of.
I cannot see. I can see your screen properly.
Okay, this what I meant, like to drag this down. Okay. Yes, sir. So I have one doubt in your explanation that you gave earlier. So if I say A and B both are objects, okay, and if
Wait. Do one thing. Just go to that link which I have shared to you and open that link and you can paste it over there.
okay. This one, which one?
Second link in the chat.
Okay.
Yep. Tell me now what you are saying.
Yes, sir. So let's say I have something like this. Let's say I have something like B is 1 and then C is 2 and then E is kind of E and 3. So this is my initial object A. So if I do B is equal to A, you said that this is a shallow copy, right?
No. See. Can you print it once? Both. Print both now.
Yeah, I guess it will change even the top level data also.
No. Just print it first.
Okay, I have to log in.
Just close this. Close this.
I am getting this.
Okay. So now see. Wait. You have a reference of D now. Okay. In both. So now go and change to A object. After printing, just A dot E dot. What is D dot E dot? Replace with your name.
Okay.
Now print again after that same line at the end. Why it is showing my name with your name typing? Let me close this. What it is now?
Since they share same reference, here also it got changed.
So this is a shallow copy now. Now do one thing. Remove D from your base object. D. Hold
Like here, here.
Yep. Just keep it. Now at line number 4, just replace A dot C equal to 5 or 3 or your name. That is fine.
Yeah.
Now print both.
Yeah.
Okay. If we see now, it is updating that as well.
This is neither a shallow nor a deep copy, I would say.
No, it's a shallow copy because it is affecting, correct? You are not using spread operator now. You should using a spread operator while copying.
No, sir. I guess in shallow copy, the top level data is not changed. Only the reference nested will be changed.
Top level data means what now? A and C we have.
Here B and C are top level data.
So we are changing it, na? C. At line number 4, we are changing C, correct?
Yes, sir. But the shallow copy will not change the deep top level data. It will only change the reference like the nested ones.
Yeah, that is correct. But top level data means what?
Here for A, top level data is B and C.
Hmm.
If B is equal to A, this was to perform a shallow copy, then any changes that I make to B and C by using the A object, it should not change those values in B.
No, no, Nikhil. Okay. So it is changing now, correct? So that's the shallow copy. Do one thing. Just use a spread operator with A at line number 2. Not like that, object.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, now check. Now tell me what is difference between that and this now.
Now this is a pure shallow copy, I would say.
It's a deep copy, buddy, not a shallow. You are
No,
confusing. See, deep copy means you are not, if you change the base object, parent will not affect.
yes,
You,
like this, you say it is a deep copy.
yeah.
So if I have nested in A, then
See, if you have nested, okay, then it copies the reference, correct, of the nested objects. So in
but
that
if
case,
it
it
was
will not
like
behave as a deep copy. It will behave as a shallow copy for that nested objects. That is what I meant to say. Now you are saying the top level data means B and C will be top level. But if you add D of the nested, then it will be as a shallow copy for that case. Now it is a deep copy. Because if you change in a B object, in a A object, it is not reflecting to B object.
sir, just sorry for me saying this, but I guess the spread operator is a shallow copy. I don't think it behaves like a deep copy for some
Sir,
and shallow copy for
no, no,
some.
sir,
Yes,
can
sir.
you,
I will show on the MDN also if I
yeah,
have shown that. Like shallow copy behaves same like deep copy for top level data. It will only copy the reference for the nested objects.
yep, so that is what I'm saying. Na? I'm also saying same thing, but in a different way.
Yeah, so this is shallow copy only. Like it behaves kind of like deep copy for top level,
It is,
and that is
see,
okay.
yeah, behaves means if it is behaving as a shallow copy and deep copy, if it is behaving as a deep copy, then we'll say deep copy.
No, no, if it was a
Behaves
real
means,
like yeah, I'll just show it.
yeah, yeah, show me, show me. We'll discuss on that, no problem.
Reassigning the value of a top level property will only be visible in the changed object. This is
Mhm.
correct. Right? Reassigning the value of a nested property will be visible in both objects.
Hmm.
This entire feature is of a shallow copy only. Shallow
Hmm.
copy means it behaves like deep copy for top level data and it changes in both objects for nested objects. So if here it was B is equal to A, then that is neither a shallow copy nor a deep copy. That is what I am saying.
What type of copy would be there?
It is not any copy. It is directly kind of like a just we are giving the reference. That is it.
Okay. So, but what is shallow copy then?
So shallow copy means if in like if say I will take this example only. So
Yeah.
we are B is equal to spread operator, right, for A.
Mhm.
So this behaves like a shallow copy. It means whatever top level data is
No,
there
no,
in
no. You see, buddy, you are correct, but the way you are explaining, it is confusing me as well and you as well. You said that now if I do A equal to B, then it is not a shallow copy or deep copy.
yes, yes,
Then you are saying if you are using a spread operator, then it is a shallow copy.
yes, sir.
Okay. And if I want to create a deep copy, then
Okay, to create deep copy, as you said, I guess you said structured clone, right? I am not aware of how
type,
to write this
type,
in
type structure.
struct. Okay,
First one. Yep. Just add A over there. Yep.
okay,
It will,
that's it.
yep.
It's a deep copy because it did not get changed.
Yeah. So it's a deep copy now. Okay.
So let me, yeah. So
You can play around it. So see,
and hoisting also.
go ahead.
Like, I have time, but maybe you have other commitments after 11:50.
No, no, go ahead. I can take for half an hour till. If it is interesting, then I can put my time. If it is not interesting, then I can directly call it. Now tell me what exactly you are confusing with a hoisting.
No, it's not confusing. Maybe we can discuss on that. That's it.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll discuss in 5 minutes. Then I will ask you a couple of rapid fire questions to you.
Yeah,
Look,
sure.
one,
Yeah, I'll take just 2-3 minutes. That's it.
yeah, that's fine. I want to give you one small example as well to write down the code.
Should I clear this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the definition of hoisting is itself confusing for me. Whatever
Yeah.
it is given in the Google. So it says that the variable and the function declarations are kind of moved to the top of their respective scopes. But what people think is that the code really itself is physically moved to the top, which is not true. Because those who don't understand the execution context in JavaScript directly jump to hoisting, they feel like a little bit confusing for them.
Everything moves at the top for them.
Yeah. If I say const a is 10, let me have let b is 20 and var c is 30. And since it is in the global scope, it is not in any scope, so it is by default a global scope. Right? Or I would say that this constant that are specifically a script scope and this var is a global scope. So like there are two phases in execution context, right? One is the memory creation phase and another is the execution phase. So in the first phase,
Sorry to interrupt you. I have pasted one link in the chat. Just open it and write down your code over there.
okay,
So everyone will understand that what exactly we are talking now.
in this
Now put your code over here. Just replace the code.
the execution is done in two phases. One is the memory creation phase and the other is the code execution phase. In the memory execution phase, the JavaScript engine will encounter all these variables and functions, whatever are there in our code. It will assign some memory to it. So it encounters that A is there, then B is there, then C is there. So it will assign some space to them in the memory. While assigning, it will see that A is a constant, B is a let. So I do not need to initialize it with any value. Whereas it sees that C is a var, so it will assign it in undefined.
Correct.
If there was a console log statement here like this, because of the hoisting nature of the var keyword, it will print undefined here.
Correct.
Whereas if I was to access this B here, it will give me a reference error saying that we cannot access B before initialization. What happens is before let and const for let and const, even though they are hoisted, they are not initialized like undefined in the case of var. This was because to ensure that the errors in the programs or unexpected behavior should not come in the modern JavaScript after ES6, whatever they have designed. This was the main reason. Like why people feel that why they get in agreement with the definition is they feel that the console log C statement is above the var C. They think that this var C somewhere from here gets removed and pasted somewhere here.
Only C, not a value. Only C. Like this.
Yeah, like yeah, you are correct. Sorry for that. Like this. So they get that declaration is moved above and the initialization is kept there. It is. So they feel like it is. But if they really know the memory creation phase, they will know that this
Yeah.
for the
So
execution, it was already there in the memory, and there from there we are getting the undefined value.
that memory location is allocated
Hmm.
at that time, but the value
Yeah.
is not there. So that value is not assigned to that memory location. So that's why we have undefined in that case. This let and const they have encountered because kind of scenarios which we are seeing in with undefined.
Yes, sir.
In the old languages in Java, sorry, in VB.NET at that time, they have kind of the strict rule. If you are accessing one of the function, then you have to declare that function at the top, then you can call that function.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So with this wasting and all, so we can use like that right now. Right. So in the same way for the functions as well.
Like developers, we
Memory location.
generally like write. Let's say I know that there has to be some function which will do me this task, so I'll directly call it with some arguments before I design the function later on. Right. This was like the feature JavaScript helped developers. Like they are able to call the function which they know that they will declare later on after calling.
With the memory phase.
Yeah.
It registered that.
Yes, sir.
Nice. So I will give you one simple scenario. Just go to that page again.
Which meet Zoom?
That second
This
one.
one.
Which let me give you that where it is. I have just copied somewhere and I forgot while talking. Create one sentence. I love India or something, anything. You have to remove vowels from it. Vowels.
Yeah. So we have A, I, and O and V. Okay.
So we have a capital I as well, and we have small a as well.
Yeah.
You have to think about that because we have the ASCII code different for them, correct? Small I and capital I.
Yes. Can I do some trials? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. It's your time, buddy.
I capital. I guess it start from 65.
I think you don't have to worry about the ASCII code.
I was just checking if okay, this is false.
65,
Capital I was seeing that
97.
capital I.
Capital I, no, sorry, capital A, I think.
66, 67.
Just check for Google if you want. But I think we don't have to use the ASCII anywhere in this for this.
73. Okay, yeah, like I was also thinking directly compare the strings if this is there. Let me, like I was just confused with, is there a splice method for strings? No.
We have,
Oh, we have,
yep,
is not a function to say.
you can use split.
Split. Then I should convert it to an array and then,
That also not required. I will tell you now. You can create an array of vowels, and for this str loop, you can add a loop.
oh,
And you can
sorry. Yeah,
check
I got it. I got it, sir.
that.
Like I was thinking that how do I do in the same string?
Now, you can create another as well. If you want to remove, then you can splice. That is fine.
Then I will have another answer array string which is empty as of now. I will have vowels. I have A, E, then I, then O, then U, then capital A, E, I, O, U. Then I can do this const char of string if uh, vowels dot includes. Then I should not do anything. If it does not include, then I have to append it to the answer array, answer string. I can do this, and if I console log now, LVND I'm getting.
It is attaching. Why
Sir?
I is coming here?
No, this is L, log L.
Oh, that's fine. This is what I was telling you to use a array instead of asking. I will give you a small questions like this so you can practice them. Just copy it from the chat once so you can practice them. I have pasted one image. Copy it image. So you can play around those. We have almost 20 plus something.
Like after this, I will do so.
Now I'm sending you another link. It's for a React. So it's a small code. So you have to just complete it. I have pasted in the chat link.
I'm opening it.
Scroll down. Wait. It's a to-do app. Okay. It's a basic React app. Okay. So
Yeah.
what you have to do, let it load first. Why it is not loading? Is it not running that? Can you reload that browser over there?
Yes.
Not that top one actually. The inside
Acha.
browser of the React one.
Okay, this one.
For that it should load. I think it's adding the dependencies maybe. Oh, it's loading. If you see that dice is loading over there at the.
Oh.
So you can read the description.
Yes, sir. Given some existing HTML for to-do list app, add the following functionality to the app. Add new tasks on clicking the submit button. Input field should be cleared upon successful addition. Remove tasks from to-do list upon delete button. Focus of this question is on functionality, not styling. It's no need to write any. Okay. May modify the markup example, adding IDs. I want to think of about ways to improve user experience of application and implement them. You get bonus. Okay, so basically, I have to do such a way that if someone enters a task here and then clicks on submit, then that should get appended as a list item to this unordered list. And along with it, I have to also give a delete button, and on clicking it, that should get deleted from the tasks. This is what I was asked to do here. Let me just see the code. We have an app functional component, and I'm returning the JSF. So I have my input here, the submit button, and this is basically some predetermined list items, which are everything I have to do inside app only, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever user enters some task, let me keep track of that task using a state value.
I cannot see your screen now. It's oh, I can see now. Correct. Okay.
Yes, I was presenting.
No. While you are typing, it was not mentioned. Yeah, that's fine. You can
Initially, my task is empty string. I guess I'll import the use state.
do one thing. Copy this code and open a code sandbox. While you are typing, it is getting blinking for me. I think due to this website. Copy this code only. This
Well,
is
it is like showing the live result, whatever I'm typing.
no, but it is making as a blank screen for me. It's
Okay.
a dark screen. It is showing me. I cannot say anything. Just open the code sandbox and copy this code over there. React.
Oh, sorry.
So it's easy to show here. But do one thing. That website has too many such kind of the questions. So practice them as well.
Which this website?
Previous website. Yeah. So if you go to the practice question at the top, We'll find a JavaScript practice question by language left side. Language second option in the so you can
Okay,
use like this. So you want to try with JavaScript then all. So practice this as well.
sure, sir. I'll do.
Yeah, please go to sandbox again. Paste the code here.
And yeah, it got imported. I see this is not a form. It's just a normal div. So I can do an on click on this and I can design a handle submit, I would say, function, which I will write here. So the task I will get from this input field. Let me do this as a controlled component and on change. Let me take the event and I will set task the event dot target dot value. This ensures that whenever the input is changed, that will be reflected in my current task. I will get the task from here. So this handle submit should add that list item to this.
It's a hard coded for now, but you can loop it.
Yes, sure. Let me also take the tasks. I will use the array data structure here for tasks, all tasks. Initially, let it be empty array. I think I feel kind of to remove this li from here.
You have to use only single li.
The UL should, I'll keep it like this only.
No, it's fine. You can remove. Then you have to loop li, correct? Not a ul.
Yeah,
So you
yes, sir.
can remove last two, keep first one. Once you get able to add somewhere, then we can replace it with a map.
So the structure is this is in span and then it's a button. Okay. Let me just comment it out for now. Okay, so handle submit. I basically have to set my tasks here. I don't want to lose out my previous task, so I'll spread them. And I can add this new task here. Because this task is just a string as of now. But if I have to have my delete functionality, then I have to delete it using the ID because I can have duplicate tasks also. So I cannot rely on just the string value to remove it.
No, you will have the
ID.
index ID, correct?
So I have to
So
then make this like this, or I can do something like this. I'm thinking of the correct place where to add the ID for the task.
while you are looping with a map, you will get an index. And
Yes, sir.
index you will remove from the array. That's it.
But
If you have five element you added, correct?
yeah,
Remove fourth one. Get an index of that, correct? Whatever clicking you delete. Just splice that from your best array with that element.
using index as keys, like if one gets deleted, then the index of the next succeeding will get reduced by one.
It should, correct? Length get removed, na? You are also if you remove something
Ah,
from the array, that array length also get.
yes, and if I add one, then it gets increased by one.
You can try in the console as well if you want to.
So okay, then I don't need an idea. So there's the tasks are set here. Then I can insert an expression here. Tasks dot map. Let me do this. I'll get a task, which is the string itself, and then the index of that. Then I can, instead of, let me have a return, or instead of return, I'll directly write here. I basically have an li where the structure should be a span followed by a button. This should be my task, and here the hard-coded delete string. This should be good, but just I have to add a key here also.
And what is the use of this key over here?
This key is internally used by React to keep track of what all like the elements that are added or removed.
Okay.
It uses the key value to identify what are the elements that are added or removed from a parent, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, so tasks.map I'm iterating and then I'm returning an li with the key as the index value, and then I'm doing this. So then the rest is commented out, I see. And okay, so let me just see if this task is getting added up. Yeah, it is getting added. Okay.
Yep.
On clicking the delete, I have to have an handle delete function. So when I click on this, let me just have a handle delete here. So when I click on this, I should also send the index value along with that.
Hmm.
So I cannot directly do like this. I will use the functional form of the event handler, and I can pass the index like this. I will get that index. Since tasks is an array,
Hmm.
I can, now is it visible, the code sandbox?
Yeah, yeah, I can see.
Okay, so I have spliced that from my tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So it will kind of
You're
give,
assigning it to the updated task. Is it required?
no, I guess the tasks itself gets, the splice, I think, modifies that original array.
Yep. So, yep.
So yeah, let me just do the splice here. After that, I can do the set tasks of maybe my tasks itself.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it also not required? I guess I don't think it is also required.
Not required.
But okay, let me just do like this. I guess no.
Yep. Test it with the both.
Yeah, yeah.
Do the task one, task two like that. So you can relate that with exactly task is deleting. Add
Yeah.
five.
Yeah.
Now
So
remove
if I
two. Remove two.
task task two, okay, it is not getting deleted. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so this index,
Can you check console? What error you are getting?
where is the
Wait,
console?
at the bottom, red. It is showing 7.
Okay, okay.
It is
Where
something else.
syntax error?
No, it is
This,
something else. 0 1 so there it is showing now. You can clear that if you want to clear. There is a button to clear
where
in the same row of console. Console problems, React Dev Tools, before filter. Before
okay,
filter.
this one. Okay, okay.
Yep. Now check. If you want to print that index, is it coming or not properly? You can check it.
Yeah.
It's coming correct.
Is it taking some time to update or what? Because I've clicked on 4, now it got deleted.
Fourth time you clicked.
Like maybe 30 seconds ago something.
So you are getting that ID correct.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm also splicing it from the tasks.
Hmm.
So let me console log my tasks also. Yeah, and like now it is not there on the UI. Like, is it this code sandbox lagging or what? Let me like do task one. Okay, it got added. Two also got added. Three also got added. So if I delete task one, yeah, see the tasks is itself
Hmm.
modified.
Hmm.
So I'm setting the tasks.
Hmm. Task you are setting array correct, and you are setting to the tasks correct.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So when I set my task,
Do you have to use a splice that split object over here dot 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 while setting spread? I meant to say, or just an array is fine.
mm, okay, task itself is an array. So maybe is it generating new reference? No. Okay, I understood what is the issue. Like when I give task, it is the same reference. So
Hmm.
React loses the track of the reference is changed or not.
So what type of copy now?
Now this is a shallow copy. Like,
Okay.
but the reference is not same.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, as long as the reference is same, any changes will not get to React so that it can render.
That's fine. Now test.
Yeah, now it is working.
It's working. Yeah. So that's why I asked you to add this file.
Yeah, yeah, this is
Yeah.
actually a good thing.
Good to know that. So you are have the see the problem is right now the people has a very lack of knowledge about the JavaScript, and you are very good in the JavaScript as I feel right now. As a
Yeah,
fresh, if I'm taking your interview, I would select you in my company.
yes, sir.
So that's good to know that you have very clear idea about the your concepts and you are confident on that. So it shows you your confidence. So that I liked.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and keep reading many things. So as a fresher, and one more thing for you, you have to add your deployed versions of the projects in the your resume. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So if I'm able to see that, so at least I can ask you a couple of questions based on that. Okay, as a fresher, you don't have anything to show, correct?
yeah,
Just added something. So if you deploy, then it will be easy for me to understand what exactly level you are done the code and also I can ask you a couple of questions based on that project as well. Okay,
mm,
so it's a
yeah,
showcase for you to show that things. And nice
yeah.
to have as a this is my very I think second as I told the second interview with a fresher. It's
Okay.
very good to know that you have knowledge around the 2 or 3 years of experience people. So
Oh,
good.
thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else you want me to ask? Anything before closing this call?
Yeah, so like if you found any weak areas where I can improve or like I can there is a scope for betterment, I want to know.
Okay. So as a fresher, as I can see that it's fine whatever you know now. So as I told you already have knowledge of 2 3 years of experience person kind of. So that is good. So you are already ahead of the fresher people. Okay, and try to do as much as code you can do like this which we did now, so that website I have given to practice. Okay, so
Yeah,
as
yeah,
you practice more you can relate more the things. Okay,
yeah,
now
this
you
will
got to know that after splice you should be having the
speed.
same reference, it is not reflecting. So such
Mm-hmm.
kind of task sometimes you might get correct, so it will be helpful for you to work on. But
Yes, sir.
see, now you can relate the things, okay? What exactly the spread operator and how should be using it and all. So that's where the your thought process keep working, and you are learning the new things every time.
Yeah,
Okay, and work on Redux. You if you are not much of the work state management, how to do that, caching and all. So memory optimization, how can I do, like those kind of things. But at least fresher, that's fine. So are you applying? Have you applied anywhere right now in a job for a job or somewhere?
no, so like I'm starting to apply from the next week onwards. I guess as soon as I make those little changes whatever are required in those projects I've included in the resume, then I'll start applying.
Okay, that's good. So you want to be make sure that whatever you should be going as 100%, not 50% in the interview. So that is good.
Yeah, because nowadays everyone is daily applying, I guess 50 or 60 applications they're giving.
Yeah. So see, exactly the problem is that so people want to switch, but they don't know how much they are prepared. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is the problem happens. So they start getting the interviews, they are rejected, then comes to me. I have given 6 interview in the last couple of months, but I have not clear. So they have wasted 6 time to select it.
Oh,
So that is the problem. So at least you have clear idea. So when to start for a searching. So that's good.
yeah, and like I was also about to get a referral from a relative.
Okay, I'll also check if I have somewhere, then I can refer you as well. So as a fresher, at least I know that I can bet on you now. So that's a good thing for me as well. So ping me on
Thank you, thank you.
Instagram. If I have something for as a fresher, then I will forward you. You might have my Instagram handle. Let me ping you.
Yes, I guess from the top mate,
Yeah, that is. I have already added over there as well. Let me ping you in the chat. So
okay,
and follow and you can ping me once over there. So if I found somewhere, then I can forward you.
okay. How do I do this full screen?
Got it?
Like, should I stop sharing? I
Yeah,
think
you
it
can.
it
Yeah,
will
go ahead.
make full screen. Yeah. in the chat you. Okay, this is your Instagram handle. Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Sir. And like as freshers, when some of my friends are applying,
Mm-hmm.
so like they are getting some assignments to do in like 2 or 3 days. Like they are given, let's say, a cart design or some drag and drop functionality.
Mm.
So like, is it common that we get like these only in these days, or like
No,
direct
that
interview calls
see
are?
the process varies for each company different way, correct? As I as,
Yeah.
as I told you to practice on some of the coding questions. So that's where things started comes. If someone gives you the like some kind of the weather app, correct? So how you are
Mm.
writing the code that is matter. So it's not about to completing only. That is also one thing. So it's varies there. So we cannot say that directly it is a standard process right now. But if you have time, then practice for them as well. So it is a plus
Yeah.
advantage. It will add more advantage.
Yes, sir. Because even the testing process has increased the difficulty.
Yeah, yeah.
That's,
So as a
lots.
fresher, see, as a fresher, sometimes many people are very poor, okay, and they
Mm.
go for interview, then they feel that I am not perfect for the front end, so they search for a testing, then they search for a support job. So this is how the downfall gets started because of the lack of the knowledge in the beginning phase. Okay, so that's where at least you know how the things is happening right now and what you have to prepare. So that is gives you the plus advantage. So
Yeah, yeah.
that is very nice to know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so start applying, and if you have any doubt related to not about interview itself, any rounds, how can we have the multiple rounds, any discussion with HR, if they ask you something for documents or something, you can feel free to ping me on Instagram. I can help you anytime.
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay, anything
And
else,
like,
Nikhilesh?
yeah, like I wanted to ask you a lot of, but I'm not remembering them now.
You can ping me on Instagram, or you can have another mock interview. We can discuss just things if you want.
Yes, sir. I want one question regarding DSA. Like, till what level of DSA I can expect they can ask me.
See, as I feel, I never touch any lead code. So I don't feel if see whatever code you have written right now. Do you feel what type of DSA you used?
It was just basic array.
Yeah, so that's where the thing started. Okay, so it's kind of the for a Infosys interview or TCS interview. No one will ask these things.
Yes, sir. Regarding TCS, I've applied through this TCS Next Step portal.
Okay,
So the deadline was 4th July,
okay.
and by the time I submitted my application, it is 5th July morning 12:06.
Oh my God.
But even though it got like registered, so
Very strict deadline.
I'm just like counting on God that if I get a call or something like that.
That's fine, but you can start your career anywhere. So feel free to apply for TCS Infosys. Start your career at least. Okay, you will earn some money. Then you can have some good things. You can have better culture over there in the company. So once you start things now, then you can uh, check for the other how the teammates is working, how the senior is working. So as a fresher, that is the one thing you should be focusing on. How
Hmm.
the teammate is reviewing your PR, how he is supporting you, all these things.
Yes, sir. Like, what is your opinion on internships? Like,
If you are not getting a call for a job, then start with internship. That is also fine. Few of the
even if it
companies,
is not paid.
yeah, that is also fine.
Yeah.
Just wasting our time at home, at least you are
Hmm.
learning something. Last week I have taken one person interview. He has joined intern in a Pune, okay, and has a joined as an intern of a 3,000 of salary.
Oh.
Okay, in a 3 years he is taking 11 lakhs of package in the same company
Oh.
because of his experience and because of his skills. He
Oh.
started as an intern. But see,
Nice. Sir.
once you start your career now, the company feels that you are very good. Then they also not wanna lose you. Okay, so
Yeah.
they will also put your money on you. So that is also fine. You can start your, at least you will get to learn the project, what is the real time project, how the architecture it is over there. So that is also a good thing.
Yeah, and like we also have to know some basics like Git and GitHub or SQL, how we handle them.
Can you come again?
Like the basics of Git or GitHub or SQL, how to like query a database.
Mm-hmm.
Like currently I'm learning backend. Like currently I'm learning Express and MongoDB.
Okay.
So like, do you have any suggestion for me to like how to approach the learning phase of backend development, because it is quite different from people who come from front end, right?
Yeah, but you can relate in the Express just more as a front end developer, correct? If you go in
Yeah.
the Java, then that is a different world.
No, I'm unstuck JavaScript only.
Yeah, yeah. So if you work in the Node.js, then at least it feels like we're writing something related to UI kind of. So we have one library, Nest.js, not a Next.js, Nest.js,
Like Next.js,
Nest.js.
Nest.js.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't have it.
So it provides us a similar architecture which we have in the Angular.
Okay.
It's a framework of the Node.js.
Oh, okay, okay.
Let me ping you in the chat. So if you want to check that as well, you can add in your resume. Progressive Node.js framework.
Yes, I'll just write down here. Okay, so this great frontend.com is where I can get to practice my JS and React machine learning round questions.
Yep, yep.
And this photo is like the JavaScript coding questions or
Coding questions. Yep.
okay, sure. So I'll check
So
out.
array based and I think string based questions.
Yeah, sure,
Yep.
sir.
And this is the another link. If you have time, then only check. Otherwise, expires also fine. It is also very easy to understand. Once you create a project architecture, then you will understand how the way we write in the front end, we create a components, correct?
Yes.
Services. So here as well, they have their own kind of architecture of the services. So you can write your business logic in services, kind of.
Okay, in SJS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, sure. Yes, sir. If I have any queries or any suggestions like that I want from you, then I'll ping in this Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anytime.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay, all the best. Good to know that you are already prepared for many things and you are note down these things also. That is a very important things. At the end, only everyone says thank you. That's why. That's why.
Oh,
So good to know that. Bye,
yeah,
Nitish.
mock interview is not less than any real interview. It is equally important.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I got shocked that you kept it at free of cost.